Hello. Mohammed Yisr Barnieh is an accomplished Syrian economist and policymaker. He has served as the Minister of Finance in the Syrian transitional government since his appointment on March 29th, 2025. His academic foundation in economics was established at Damascus University, where he earned his bachelor's degree in 1990, followed by graduate studies at the University of Kansas, the University of Washington, and Oklahoma State University in the United States. Barnieh began working at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York in 1996 before joining the Arab Monetary Fund later that year. Over his tenure at the fund, he progressed to become the head of financial markets. Between 2004 and 2007, he was instrumental in the establishment of the Syrian Commission on Financial Markets and Securities and the Damascus Securities Exchange, marking a significant contribution to Syria's financial infrastructure. His involvement in establishing the Syrian Commission on Financial Markets and Securities was crucial for creating the regulatory framework necessary for a well-functioning securities market. The SCFMS, established in 2005, is an independent entity responsible for organizing, developing, and supervising Syria's stock exchanges and related activities. This includes setting rules for disclosure, the issuance of securities, licensing financial services companies, and accrediting auditors. Barnieh's work during this period helped lay the legislative and institutional groundwork for a modern securities sector in Syria, aligning it with international standards of transparency and trustworthiness. Simultaneously, Barnieh was instrumental in setting up the Damascus Securities Exchange, which officially launched trading in March 2009. The establishment of the DSE provided a formal platform for trading securities in Syria, aiming to foster investment, mobilize capital, and contribute to the overall economic development of the country. While the actual trading commenced shortly after his direct involvement in the 2004 to 2007 period, his work in the preceding years was essential in creating the legal and organizational structure that made the exchange possible. This included contributing to the development of the securities market law in 2006, which provided the legal basis for the DSE's creation and outlined its governance and operational framework. From 2009 until his ministerial appointment in 2024, Barnieh held diverse roles within the Arab Monetary Fund, ultimately serving as the director of the Economic Policy Department, where he spearheaded economic research and provided counsel to Arab governments on critical financial reforms. For example, he oversaw the production of high-quality, policy-relevant economic analysis and research on macroeconomic developments, financial stability issues, and structural reform priorities within the Arab region. This provided valuable insights for member countries in formulating their economic policies. Barnieh played a crucial role in advising Arab governments on the design and implementation of sound macroeconomic policies and structural reform programs aimed at promoting sustainable economic growth, fiscal stability, and external sector resilience. He contributed to initiatives focused on deepening and modernizing the financial sectors of Arab countries, including efforts to enhance regulatory frameworks, develop capital markets, and promote financial inclusion. Barnieh's work with the Economic Policy Department supported the AMF's broader goal of fostering economic integration among Arab nations. This involved analysis of trade flows, investment opportunities, and policy harmonization efforts. He directed the development and maintenance of key economic and financial statistical databases for the Arab region, which are essential for informed policymaking and research. Furthermore, he oversaw the provision of technical assistance to member countries in areas related to economic policy formulation and implementation. His leadership during a period marked by significant regional economic and political transitions, including the aftermath of the 2008 global financial crisis and the subsequent Arab Spring uprisings, was critical in helping member countries address emerging challenges and adapt their economic strategies. During the Syrian civil war, which began in 2011 and lasted until the fall of the Assad regime in December 2024, Mohammed Yisr Barnieh was not directly involved in the conflict on the ground. Instead, his role at the Arab Monetary Fund placed him in a position to observe and analyze the economic repercussions of the war on Syria and the wider region. The AMF's mandate includes fostering monetary cooperation and economic integration among Arab countries, and the Syrian civil war presented significant challenges to this mission. As director of the Economic Policy Department, Barnieh was involved in conducting economic research and advising Arab governments on financial and economic issues. This included assessing the economic damage in Syria, understanding the impact on regional economies, and exploring avenues for future stabilization and recovery. His continued leadership role at a prominent regional financial institution during this turbulent period underscores his expertise and commitment to the economic stability of the Arab world, including the eventual recovery of Syria. As finance minister, Barnier faces a multitude of significant economic challenges as Syria navigates its post-conflict transition. Years of civil war have led to a catastrophic decline in Syria's economy, with estimates suggesting a contraction of over 80% in GDP between 2010 and 2023. Key sectors like agriculture and oil, which were pillars of the pre-war economy, have been severely disrupted. Infrastructure has suffered immense damage. A vast majority of the Syrian population lives in poverty and requires humanitarian assistance with significant food insecurity. The cost of living has skyrocketed, and basic goods have become scarce. The Syrian pound has drastically depreciated against the US dollar, leading to hyperinflation and a significant erosion of purchasing power for ordinary citizens. The unemployment rate has soared, exacerbated by the conflict and more recently by public sector layoffs as part of economic reforms. The labor market is struggling to absorb returning refugees and internally displaced persons. International sanctions, while aimed at the former regime, continued to pose a significant obstacle to economic recovery and reconstruction efforts by hindering trade and foreign investment. The transportation sector, including highways, railways, and airports, is in tatters and requires extensive rehabilitation to reintegrate Syria into regional trade networks. The power grid also needs significant rebuilding. The government faces severe fiscal constraints and challenges in paying public sector salaries. Recent aid from Qatar, administered by the UNDP, is helping to address this in the short term. The financial and banking sectors require modernization to align with global standards and facilitate economic recovery and international engagement. Years of conflict and instability have severely damaged investor confidence, making it difficult to attract the foreign capital needed for reconstruction and economic growth. Addressing deeply entrenched corruption and removing bureaucratic hurdles are crucial for creating a favorable environment for investment and economic activity. To address these formidable challenges, Minister Barnier is actively engaging with international institutions like the World Bank to explore ways to modernize Syria's financial systems and restore banking operations. This includes technical and technological improvements to align with global financial systems. He has outlined a vision for revamping tax systems, improving wage structures, and enhancing statistical transparency. His policy platform also includes reducing fiscal burdens on citizens while tightening regulatory oversight to tackle tax evasion. To improve efficiency and reduce corruption, he has stated that digitizing government transactions is a top priority. He is seeking to enhance collaboration with civil society organizations and promote public-private partnerships to leverage resources and expertise for reconstruction and development. He is also working to address the country's significant external debt. Notably, discussions with Saudi Arabia have led to plans for Riyadh to assist in settling Syria's debts, potentially unlocking further aid and investment opportunities. Minister Barnier is actively engaging with international partners, including participating in the spring meetings of the IMF and World Bank to reconnect Syria with the international financial system, including SWIFT, and seek support for reconstruction efforts. He has also acknowledged and thanked the U.S. Treasury Department for exempting recent aid from Qatar from sanctions. The transitional government is implementing reforms aimed at market liberalization, including dismantling import and export controls and privatizing some state-owned enterprises, excluding energy and transportation. The aim is to encourage foreign investment and stimulate economic activity. Minister Barnier's success in achieving Syria's economic recovery goals will hinge on strong partnership both within the Syrian government and with external actors. As the head of the transitional government, President Ahmed Asharaf's support and political will are crucial for enacting and implementing the necessary economic reforms. His commitment to economic recovery will set the overall tone and direction. Close coordination with the Syrian Central Bank and its governor, Abdulkader Hosriye, is vital for monetary policy, managing the exchange rate, and implementing financial sector reforms. Their joint efforts will be critical in stabilizing the Syrian pound and controlling inflation. Collaboration on attracting foreign investment, promoting trade, and revitalizing key industries will be essential. Minister of Economy and Industry Mohammed Yisr Ashar's international economic background will be a significant asset. Since rebuilding infrastructure is a prerequisite for economic recovery, strong cooperation with Minister of Transport Badr Yarub on prioritizing and executing transportation projects will be necessary. Ministries overseeing areas like energy, agriculture, and local administration will also be important partners, as their sectors are fundamental to the overall economic revival. As the regulatory body for the securities market, continued collaboration with the Syrian Commission on Financial Markets and Securities will be necessary to develop and oversee the Damascus Securities Exchange and build investor confidence. The recent appointment of an IMF envoy to Syria signifies a potential for renewed engagement. The IMF's technical expertise and potential financial assistance will be crucial for macroeconomic stabilization and structural reforms. The World Bank has expressed readiness to support Syria in areas like energy and digital technology. Their technical and financial support will be vital for long-term development projects. The United Nations Development Program is already involved in early recovery efforts and has been facilitating aid. Their continued support for livelihoods, infrastructure rehabilitation, and institutional strengthening will be essential. Agencies like UNICEF and other humanitarian organizations will continue to play a critical role in addressing the humanitarian crisis, which is intertwined with economic recovery. Financial aid from countries like Qatar and Saudi Arabia, even when administered through international bodies, provides immediate relief and can support stabilization efforts. As stability improves, attracting bilateral and multilateral donors, as well as foreign direct investment, will be crucial for large-scale reconstruction and sustainable growth. International NGOs on the ground are vital for delivering aid, supporting local communities, and providing insights into the needs and challenges facing the population. Engaging with the Syrian diaspora and leveraging their skills, capital, and international connections could be a significant asset for economic recovery. Minister Barnieh's ability to forge strong working relationships with these diverse partners, both within Syria and internationally, will be fundamental to his success in navigating the complex path towards economic recovery. Building trust, ensuring coordination, and effectively communicating the government's vision will be key to mobilizing the necessary support and resources. As Syria's finance minister, Mohammed Yisr Barnieh confronts a deeply fractured economy ravaged by years of conflict, characterized by widespread poverty, hyperinflation, high employment, and significant infrastructural damage, all compounded by international sanctions. To tackle these formidable challenges, the strategy centers on comprehensive financial and banking reforms, fiscal renewal through tax system improvements and transparency, the digitization of government transactions, fostering public-private partnerships, a strategic view of public debt, and active engagement with international financial institutions and potential donors to secure vital support for reconstruction and long-term economic stabilization, along market liberalization efforts aimed at attracting foreign investment.